One of the laws of business that people don't often appreciate is that complexity carries cost. You know how it is. When you start off in business, any customer's a good customer, and as we go along, we gather up customers and staff and supplier relationships and products and services until we end up here with a whole lot of complexity, a whole lot of things that we have to manage. The 80-20 principle says that actually of this, 20% of the products, 20% of the services, 20% of the staff, 20% of what you do actually creates 80% of the value. So one of the fundamental principles of creating a great business where you can work less and make more is to simplify your business. Einstein said, any intelligent fool can make things more complicated. It takes a touch of genius and real courage to go in the opposite direction. And that's what we want to talk about today. One of the ways we can do this is to use the value calculator that's come with part of the Biztime program in the notes. What I want you to do is establish what's your goal for the next 12 months, the number one thing you're working on. And then make a list of those things that we might regard as your genius, the things that you do to make the biggest contribution to achieving that goal. In the next column, put in how many hours a week you actually put in to that activity. And then in the last column, put down the number of hours you should be putting in if you're going to achieve your goal. Most people, most of the time, are going to find that there's quite a gap. Here's another way of thinking about this. Calculate your hourly rate by taking your salary plus the dividend income from the business if it was operating at the kind of potential that you know it's got. Take that number and divide that by 2,000. That gives you your hourly rate. Then what I want you to do is track all the things you do over a 3-day period, everything, all the bits and pieces. Are each of those activities worth your hourly rate? Because if they're not, you shouldn't be doing them. The time you spend on those low value activities is time that you can't give to the higher value, and there's only so many hours in the day. So if they're not worth that, you need to delegate. If as you look down that list, you think about the ones that you hate doing, delegate them as well. Because if you hate doing it, you're probably not going to get around to it, or when you do get around to it, you don't do it very well. So the idea is that you should be working on the things that you're really good at and that create great value for the business and that you love to do. Find other people to do everything else. And I've said before in the program, if that means that you've got to get some resource in to take over those low value things, get yourself an administrator. Because you know, there are people in the world who actually love doing that stuff and they're good at it. I know this is a challenge. Lots of people have a lot of difficulty with this. When we've gone through with people and said, look, you know, let's put a line through this and through this, they say, you don't understand. These are the very things that have got me where I am today. And what we say is, you don't understand. They are the things that are going to keep you where you are today. It's one of the fundamentals of creating a great business is that you, as the business owner, have got to learn to let go. There's a wonderful Buddhist saying, when I let go of who I am, I become who I might be. It's not until we simplify, we bring others in to do the things that we're not good at or we don't like doing, that's when we'll start creating a great business. So the biggest obstacle is in our head. Really successful people don't go and get the mail. They work on the things they're good at and they get others to do the rest. So what you've got now is a whole list of activities that you've identified. They don't create value and they take up time. What I want you to do now is take those and put them into your gas system and identify what date you're going to get rid of them. You're going to pass them on. The key to delegation, it's not abdication. It's about, first off, directing people, then coaching them, then supporting them, and then finally delegating. So as time goes by, your involvement with it diminishes. Be clear about the expectations. What do you want to see happen? How do you want it done? And by what time frame? Get rid of underperforming products through here. Make a commitment here in the gas system to get rid of underperforming products, underperforming customers, the D-class customers, D-class staff. So it's not just about your activities. Apply the 80-20 principle across your whole business. Simplify, simplify, simplify. The simpler it is, the more focused you will be, the more focused you are, the more attention and energy you'll give it, and the more successful you will be. There's nothing standing in your way in terms of simplifying your business. Get on with it now.